It is 57 days to the presidential and parliamentary elections. Good afternoon. Welcome to Election Brief. My name is Faustina Safo. We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125 on all our social media handles and around the world on myjoyonline.com. Election headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. Also brought to you by German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Beauty, as well as Chopbox Technologies, a convenient service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. My name is Faustina Safo. Please stay for details. Thanks for choosing us. Now we start with the Wa High Court, presided over by the Wa Supervising High Court Judge Justice Yusuf Asibe, because they have squashed the decision of the District Registration Review Officer of the EC to delete the names of 197 persons from the voters register. The District Registration Review Officer of Nandom on September 20, 2024 ordered that the names were deleted from the register, claiming that the applicants failed to come for a review hearing. Joy News' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam was in court. He joins us live with more. Hi Rafiq, how did proceedings play out in court today? Rafiq, you have to position rightly for us to hear you. Just give us updates on what happened in court today and how the matter played out. Well, unfortunately, we don't have clear connection to Rafiq Salam. We're working the lines to Unfortunately, we can't hear you. You would have to unmute for me to hear you clearly. Well, Rafiq, unfortunately, we don't have clear connection to you. You would have to reposition rightly, and then we'll come back to you for updates on what transpired in court. Well, there are errors in name, spelling, and issues with some party symbols, and that has caused delays in the printing out of the Electoral Commission notice of polls for the December 7th general election. According to a statement from the EC, the printing of the notices of polls for both the presidential and parliamentary election is scheduled to begin today, Friday, October 11, 2024. However, the actual printing of ballot papers will only commence after the Commission provides ballot statistics to all the candidates, political parties, and printing houses. But before the commencement of the exercise, some representatives of the party raised issues with the process. Here's Deputy Director of Elections with the NDC, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer.
Meeting with the Electoral Commission right now with my other colleagues on the issue of the notices of polls that they are going to print. We've just signed off a sample of the notices of polls. So as we speak now, printing has not commenced because there are some few corrections they need to put. My other colleagues have issues with their symbols. Some have issues with their spelling of their candidate's name. So because of that, they have to go and do some corrections on them before they can now proceed with the printing. Like we rightly put, we have no issues with the printing of the notice of poll. It's just the corrections, which we have just done right now. Just close the meeting with them. We have no issue. Our issues with them was about the printing of the ballot papers, which their initial letter sought to indicate that they wanted to go ahead with the printing of the ballot papers, of which we have issues and told them that could not be the case because you don't just print ballot papers without a document that is the certified voters register and then the statistics therein before the printing can commence. So that is our issue, and thank God they have come to clarify that they won't go ahead with the printing of the ballot papers. And so with that one, we are good to go. We believe that Ghanaians should be thankful of NDC Eagle Eye that is always putting the Electoral Commission on check to make sure that they do the right thing.
With these errors that you say you have provided details so that they could be corrected, would it mean that indeed the printing of notices will still commence today or at a later date?
I believe they might not be able to proceed with the printing today unless they are able to do those corrections. Ideally, the NDC, we didn't have issues. Our candidate details looks okay. Our symbol was okay. Our name was properly spelled. And then the picture was fine. The same thing to our main opponents too. I think they also signed. They didn't have any issues with that. I think about 2 candidates, they had issues. Alan Fafranto, they had issue with their symbol, and then I think the colors. And then that of one other independent. And so they had issues. That's the one the Electoral Commission to rectify so that they can proceed. And that is the essence. That's why we told them that we needed to have this meeting today, so that we can look at it, because agents cannot take decision of this nature. So they indicated they will go and do the corrections before they proceed. So if they're able to do the correction to the satisfaction of those 2 candidates, well, why not? They can proceed. And they told us they are printing 500 each for every constituency. So that should not, it's just a day's work.
Now, I just want you to help us with a little bit of information, since you were in that meeting this morning, which unfortunately we are not privy to. Just clarify for me, apart from Alan Tremantin, who else is this individual that had issues, the independent candidate?
Well, let me just I think this one is, what's this name? Sorry, I'm just giving it to you.
Okay, so we'll buy Dr.
Yes.
Okay.
I think he had to do with the colors of the symbol.
Okay, interesting. So, but for the NDC, you are fine.
Yes. About the NDC, we are fine. We are fine with it. Our symbol was okay. The colors fantastic. Then the spelling of our candidate name, we have no issue with that. And then the picture was also good. So we are good to go.
Do I get the sense that the NDC is beginning to trust the EC?
This is not a trust issue. These are things that we have given them, and that's what they are supposed to do. It's not our trust issue. These are things they are supposed to do. Everybody knows the notice of hold. You have to put the thing.
Meanwhile, a disqualified presidential aspirant for this year's election, Samankra, has criticized the decision by the Electoral Commission to go ahead with the printing of the notice of polls and ballot paper. He says this decision by the Commission is a slap on the face of democracy.
Them to go ahead and invite agents of various candidates regarding the printing of the ballot paper to the various printing houses is totally unfair and unacceptable, and is a clear indication of what everyone thought about how and why Samankra was disqualified. Indeed, it's deepening the thought I was disqualified on the premises of an intentional act of deception and suppression of information by the Electoral Commission. I don't think this is good for the Electoral Commission in terms of deepening democracy and also building confidence of the people going forward to such a big elections. I'm using this opportunity once again to appeal to the EC to make their to look at the situation and correct themselves. Failure to do so, as I've said, we're willing to go all the way to the Supreme Court if we have to. The act of going ahead to print these ballot papers, regardless of what is pending, is totally unfair and a slap on the face and also not good for our democracy.
Well, let me take you back to our earlier story. We told you that the Wa High Court, presided over by the Wa Supervising High Court Judge Justice Yusuf Asibe, has quashed the decision of the District Registration Review Officer of the EC to delete the names of 197 persons from the voters' register. The District Registration Review Officer of the Nandom on September 2024 ordered that the names be deleted from the register, claiming that the applicants failed to come for a review hearing. Our correspondent Rafiq Salam was in court for us. He joins us live with details. Rafik, I'm hoping I have better connection to you. Just take us through what happened in court today.
What transpired in court today was really interesting. We have the 197 applicants whose names were supposed to be deleted based on the request or an order from the Nandom Registration Review Officer. And so today, the Wa High Court sat on the case, and which was also presided over by Justice Yusuf Asibe. And then also after hearing from the lawyer of the 197 applicants, and then because they told the court that these people were not given a fair hearing because they were not given the opportunity to defend themselves. And then largely these 197 names, the claim from the District Registration Review Officer was that they were non-residents of Nandom, and then also for that matter, they were aliens or foreigners, and so they will not allow them to take part in this year's election. So when the case was brought to the High Court, the listened to the lawyer of the applicants. Let me also emphasize is that the lawyers for the defendants were also not in court. None of them appeared in court. And even the agents of the NDC who kicked against the registration of these people that they call foreigners were also not around. So the EC itself were not having a lawyer there. So it was only the applicants. They have a lawyer, and then he spoke and then told the court that these people that their names were quacked from the register were not given the opportunity to defend themselves, and because of that, that breaches natural justice. And so, based on that, Justice Yusuf Asibe ruled that the decision of the Nandom District Registration Officer should be quashed, and ordered that the Electoral Commission of Ghana should put back the names of these registrants, these 197 persons there, and also ask that they should be given ID card for them to take part in this year's election. This was what transpired in court today.
Thank you, Rafik Salam, joining us all the way from WA. Well, the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has ended his tour of the Doma East, West and Central constituencies of the Bono region. During the tour, he called on Osajifo Ajiman Bedu II, the paramount chief of the Doma Traditional Council and president of the Bono House of Chief, who reaffirmed his confidence in government's Agenda 111 initiative. Here are sights and sounds of Bawumia's tour of the Bono region.
Yepesayadi Fisheba na Membunu Enya Ejuma Aye jobs and jobs. Yadi digital skills Baba Membunu 1 million youth to be trained in digital skills. Yadi new credit system Eba Adia Ewo Abrochireno Midi Bagana ha Abrochire Omoto adia, omutimito, no mutia, kakra. Enyasa, aha, ye bebianesa, ye the credit system, eba Ghana, ebe share here before the end of this year. Ye betoniema, ne ye tuya, kakra. Ye the light bill no eba form. Light bill no eba form. We are going for solar power to bring down the cost of electricity by 50%. Nyamiadum, Dr. Baumia, Maye Jumano as Vice President. Enti Mumfastiano, Mumfastiano, Mumfastiano,
government beto idea on Ghana move na entono in Ghana rather than first moving for import. Ye to idea Ghana ha ye mebuno obenye juma aye wo Ghana ha. Anano me pese me ye fund be ye friend Women's Trade Empowerment Fund. And it a man edwadifo yedi sika ebe tayo wechi na omwaye ejuma. So Women's Trade Empowerment Fund no eno ebe bua ma edwadifo. The toswa eshishia me pese me de ba nananom. Me pese me de eshishia fufuro ba me train nananom abe government. I want to bring the chieftaincy institution closer to government. Me and my dream is say, Yebu Mayi from 1957, Ebedune, Yemfa Ahimfo, Kamo, Yedi Ahimfo, Etunche. But Ahimfo was so much experience and knowledge in statecraft, say, Mimi I dream say, a mistake. We perceive Mrs. Sambrano, and Nanadia Unimina, as far as Chieftaincy Act na dear na Nejuma, that is especially in those sorts of areas.
Achame wa yenyina yenim bre a yewom emfie na bia Ghana fo yekọ sinanim yekohwe sabio nipa asese odi anim ewo emra kwan so enchere na na dankwa akufu ado abanwa na yede ma no emfie na edika na emfie na yetoso mienu ekwa wieye a na esesa ade abu abebo bi pomam nim se eno ntini yewura owo ha na aba kakra ya beka a kire no se ye de ye nananom amanyo bejesi no yanhye bi nti ne ye beka no sa amre ne se na da Roma emra oba ye bebetena konwa iso yi ya ka se banye bibibi ya ma ya no kureni ne ye bonu aye bi baby sasa na na ba ne ba ya maye Dr. Gideon Boako a oye doma de hye emra o kasa na o kan ye sabi uni ewa nhu hwe kra doma ngro asphalt ubehu ebi ya ba doma ahimfia enye no nko unyina hunim eye one district one factory ebi ewo doma east be wie ye de nso nim sabre pam be wie bisu wodoma west ye had ye na de say minhu ni ye papa de sports complex ba si e de amaye multi purpose be wie ye de ni sabre pam be beba be wie na e de mfaso abraye. Most welcome.
I believe that the church and the state, that relationship, that partnership should be strengthened. I and my manifesto and all I have said, I want to see a closer relationship between the church and the state. The church from my perspective, is the #1 development partner of the government. When we talk about development partners, and sometimes we forget that our #1 is the church and the faith-based institutions. And I want to see a closer bond, because there are so many advantages that you bring. If you look at the schools that you build, the hospitals that you build, you currently have the best school in West Africa.
I appreciate very much your acknowledgement of what the church can do and has been doing. We have always sought for more cooperation. For some reason unknown to us, it has not always been considered favorably. And I'm happy to hear that you will do something about it when you become the president. And we pray that you do become the president.
Well, the National Democratic Congress has served notice that it will not accept attempts to prevent Ghanaians living in Togo from participating in the upcoming general election. According to the NDC National Chairman Johnson Asiedu Nketia, the opposition party will squarely meet any act of discrimination against people crossing into the country via land to vote. Speaking at a rally in Ziofe in the Agotime Ziofe constituency, which lies on Ghana's Togo border, he questioned the intentions of the ROPA law passed by the governing New Patriotic Party.
The National Democratic Congress is determined to maintain the Agotime Ziope parliamentary seat, which has been its traditional seat since 1992. Addressing a rally in Ziope, the NDC National Chairman, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, said the opposition party would resist attempts to suppress their votes.
They will find every reason to prevent you from voting and to prevent Ghanaians living in Togo from coming to their own country to vote. And these are people who pretend that they care for Ghanaians who live outside. And so they passed the ROPA law. And when they were preparing to pass the ROPA law, you know which country they went first to talk to Ghanaians? It was Togo. So the logic they want us to understand is that if you are in America, you are Ghanaian, you are living in America, and you fly to Kotoka International Airport, they will allow you to go and vote. But if you are a Ghanaian living in Lomé, and you want to cross over to come and vote in your hometown, that one, you are a Togolese, you are an alien. They must not allow you to go. We shall not accept that discrimination.
The Agotime Ziope NDC parliamentary candidate, Charles Agbeve, entreated the electorate to come out in their numbers and vote on December 7th to enable the constituency to meet its target.
Yes, National Chairman Ejijo Munto, Esiabe Edon Semi, Ebo Bomnamiba, Deputy Miato, votes Yamitia Metro Agotime Ziope, you get 25,000 votes for NDC.
Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Ziope.
With just 57 days until election day, political parties and candidates are in full swing with their campaigns. As always, Prince Kwame Kuduga brings you some laughter along the road to Jubilee House in the following report.
So let's kick off things with the People's National Convention, PNC, which seems to be struggling to accept their disqualification from the presidential race. This time, party chairman Samson Asaki Awingobed is taking on those who didn't show them any sympathy.
I do believe, say, nobody from NDC, not even President Mahama, or Asani Ketia, or Fifi Kwete, none of them,
Obiam Fred Benadmona,
to say, my brother,
to
sympathize with us. Look, you know who called?
Who?
My leader member, and I feel cold. I had cold immediately when he told me. He said, it is the New Patriotic Party presidential candidate.
Who, Dr. Bawumia?
His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Rather
who picked phone. We were thinking that it is MPP who made them to disqualify us. Me and my leader, we are saying that it is MPP that made Jen Mensa to disqualify us. But the one you think is your enemy is not your enemy.
But how is life treating disqualified presidential aspirant Bernard Mona?
What people pay loyalty and what people do not pay loyalty, it pains. Did you know till date that my president candidate, if you have to move to go and campaign or to go somewhere, we have to go to a hiring car and rent Land Cruiser. He lost this. We went to file our election. We suffered to get money to go and file, and we have been disqualified, miserable. Bernard is a strong guy, and as somebody could have just break down.
Now the youth are being touted as a decisive population in the upcoming presidential election, which explains why every party is rolling out the red carpet to woo them. However, the NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama is taking that to a whole new level.
This one be the yawa of the day. You see, boys they hustle and job no day. So now the bet they do small, get money for gobe. You see? So I understand. As no say this one, it be matter where they concern the youth. Plenty. So we talk already. Say where we come. The betting tax will go remove them.
But here's the kicker.
Me too little because meeting here. Unya number now the mammy and talk.
As parties try to market themselves with flashy features, independent candidate Nana Kwame Bediako has its own unique approach.
Musha ballot neswa. Munshwe nipa.
We've seen all sorts of wild pledges this campaign season. However, LPG's parliamentary candidate for Bekwai constituency, Lovista Owusu, has set the bar incredibly high with this ultimate super promise.
One student, one more float. One student, one more float. After this 3 class 1 to JHS 3.
Prince Kwame Kudoga's report for Joy News.
Prince Kwame Kudoga filed that report. Quite interesting. You can watch it on our social media handles for Joy News on TV if you just want to have a good laugh each Friday. My name is Faustina Saf, and that's how I wrap up the bulletin. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. Good afternoon.